Hello, I think this is working. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to week 2 of June 13th through 19th of the San Francisco Bay Area Weekly Housing Market Update. I think everything should be streaming correctly. And if there's any technical difficulty, please let me know in the chat box below. Yes, okay. So thank you for joining me here today. I'm excited to go on week 2 of the housing market updates in San Francisco and the Bay Area on single family homes and condos. I have some really interesting news that will impact your decisions on home selling or buying now as active prospects or later in the future. And I look forward to answering any questions for you in the end. Also, this live video will be recorded, but if you want to ask me anything after this presentation because you're too busy and missed it, feel free to call me, text me, or email me with any inquiries that you may have. I'm here to help support you, guide you, and answer any real estate questions for you now and forever, going forward. And you can also see any previous videos with updates on my Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages. So let's get right to it. And I'm going to just share my screen with you. Okay, so that's our presentation for today. Just as a quick introduction, so I'll be going over this. So here's a quick outline. I'll be introducing myself just for a little bit. And going over the San Francisco Bay Area market updates for condos, TICs, co-ops, and lofts, and single-family homes. Some trends I've been seeing overall, kind of in the news, and also how it's impacting the real estate market. The market forecast with updates from Leslie Appleton-Young, who's the chief economist at CAR in terms of inventory, sales, and price. San Francisco, whether it's turning into buyers or sellers market. And I'll go into that more. Current mortgage interest rates, resources for home buyers, and conclusion in terms of questions and answers. So you can definitely ask me some questions that I can answer for you later. Helping clients with buying and or selling homes. And I was born and raised in San Francisco. I went to Taylor Middle School in Millbrae, and I went to Convent of the Sacred Heart for high school in Pack Heights. And then I graduated from Northeastern University in Boston to become a pharmacist. And then I switched careers into real estate because I love real estate so much. I have a yearning passion for making others happy, and it's my goal to continue helping others achieve their American dream of owning a home, and I want to help them make that come true. Okay, so enough about me. Let's get into the San Francisco housing market and this week's updates. So last week I kind of had this, huge graph, but this week I just decided to make it kind of just simple and make it very easy to identify. So we have many condos in San Francisco, with even more apartment and condo buildings constantly being built. But I wanted to compare how the numbers for this week of June 11th or 18th of 2020 compared to the same week of last year. So let's take a look. Basically, the same week of last year, we had 222 condos, TIC lofts, as you see on the left side of the bar graph on June 2019, compared to 43 this year. So we only sold 20% of the condos that were on the market the very same week of last year. We're seeing the markets are soft right now due to the coronavirus that hit us hard with the shelter-in-place orders in March of this year. That started in March of this year in San Francisco. But now that we're reopening, we are seeing more movement in the market. Of course, we still have a lot of catching up to do, and this is as expected. And I don't know when we will return to normal levels due to so much uncertainty. But we are seeing more movement in getting the market back towards normal levels soon. Now let's take a look at the number of single-family homes and how this week's numbers compared directly to pre-COVID levels of year 2019. So the same week of last year, we had 264 single-family homes sold compared to 59 this year. That's only 22% of the homes that were sold this year compared to last year, and that's a similar trend as seen in condos in the previous slide. We are seeing a similar trend with condos for the real estate market right now. And so one of the reasons for a lower number of sold single family homes is due to the lower number of active listings on the market, and which makes sense. We don't have enough inventory, and so the number of closed items are thus lower. But again, as mentioned before with the condos, there's still so much uncertainty to really determine what will exactly happen in the future. But we are expected to see more movement as we slowly reopen the economy and people feel more comfortable with going outside again. Interestingly enough, we're also seeing a higher demand to migrate towards the suburbs. Most of the home buying population is filled with people in tech here in San Francisco. And now that all of them are given the option to work from home, companies are changing the way that they traditionally used to work due to being able to work remotely through, meetings through Zoom and other digital means. And people may also want more space, want more fresh air. So I think you'll definitely be seeing a lot of potential in terms of movement and also in terms of people moving around the Bay Area real soon. And in terms of home builders, I just wanted to point out that they are active. There is more activity, but the supply side is still lacking. So home builders are ready to build, but due to the lack of supply, not enough homes are being built right now. I also just wanted to share with you insightful data and analysis that was just presented 2 days ago from Leslie Appleton Young, who's the Senior Vice President and Chief Economist for the California Association of Realtors. She oversees the analysis of the housing market and brokerage industry trends. So Leslie points out that in California, in May of this year, we have seen fewer sales coupled with fewer listings, but even lower sales on top of that. So, which is why the index for May 2019 is 3.2 months versus the index for May 2020, which is 4.3 months. So this basically means that there is 4.3 months worth of more inventory staying on the market the same time this year. More specifically, San Francisco. So this chart represents San Francisco. The previous chart was California in general. So San Francisco shows a more exaggerated view of May 2019, having 1.5 months of inventory of last year versus May 2020 of this year having 3.7 months worth of inventory on the market, which actually isn't a bad thing because we've always been told that we're short on inventory in the Bay Area. But it is just something to keep in mind. And this is another slide showing that we have active listings, that's dipped more than 30%. So as you see in May 2020, we have a 34% less inventory right now. I also wanted to point out in the previous slide that since the active listings dropped 34% statewide in May, that it's also heating up the market for buyer demand because there really is less to look at than there was a year ago. And in San Francisco last year, we had over 8,000 listings. And this year in May, we had 5,846. Okay, I hope it's not lagging. I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. When we compare the number of active listings versus sales in San Francisco, we have a 27% reduction in active listings and a 51% reduction in sales. So that's why you have an increase in the index up to 4.3. So you're seeing more of a supply available than before, and thus houses are staying on the market longer. And there's an expectation that the prices will drop, and we are seeing prices lowered, but not from the sellers or the supply side. So we are seeing around a 5% price reduction, which is pretty normal to pre-COVID levels, and aren't seeing any of a fire sale wave of home prices on huge discounts. We have seen properties stay longer on the market due to the coronavirus and due to the uncertainty from both the buyers and the sellers. And so that's why the prices have consequently been reduced, but not in a major fashion. So San Francisco has always been a highly competitive seller's market, with multiple offers competing against each other due to consistently low inventory and high demand. And especially over the recent years with the wave of tech people moving into San Francisco, we've definitely seen the Bay Area prices skyrocket. And not much has changed, and it still is a seller's market in San Francisco, but we are seeing a rare opportunity for buyers to step into this market now. And this slide is basically in relationship to the previous slides from CAR. Okay. And I wanted to point that out because right now we have very low interest rates, and this is actually the perfect opportunity for buyers to step in. So if you're a buyer out there, listen up because this will be very important for you. So for the first time in history, we are seeing the lowest interest rates ever, with the Fed cutting their interest to 0%. And we just hit a mortgage interest rate of under 3% last week. And it makes a huge difference in your payments, right? And this is the best time for buyers looking for the golden opportunity to make very low monthly payments for their mortgage. I also spoke with my finance friends, and I pull up the mortgage rates almost on a daily basis. And these are the current mortgage interest rates in San Francisco as of today. So the 15-year fixed loan is about 2.8, so around 2.9%, which is lower than 3%. And the 30-year fixed jumbo loan is about 3.5%. So as you can see, the rates are very good right now. So this is all great. Sorry, I'll just go back to this slide for just a second. So this is all great, but there is one problem that buyers have to overcome, and the banks are tight on liquidity, and they are more particular about the people that they are handing their loans to. So you really have to be prepared when you're getting a loan. So make sure you're definitely pre-approved. And if you're ever wondering on how to start the home buying process, feel free to refer to my YouTube video for 10 easy steps for first-time home buyers. I really break it down on how to go through the home buying process, and it'll especially be useful for first-time home buyers. And also, I have good relationships with the lenders that I work with to help you get pre-approved as well. So yeah, and so that is it for today. I kept it very simple and to the point. And let's see, I'll check if there's any questions. Other than that, feel free to leave questions in the chat box below and the messages. Feel free to contact me through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and my website, susieleesf.com. You can also email me, call, text, or email me. And yeah, that's it for today. So other than that, thank you everyone so much. I hope this information was helpful and useful. I know that when I looked at the stats and I compared it to last year's data, I was like, wow, this is like very interesting. And it was kind of eye-opening for me too. So other than that, thank you everyone so much. And I'll catch you later next Friday at 2 p.m. Thank you. Bye.